Hello there, my beautiful friends. Today I am bringing you the start of a new series here on my channel. Well, it's not really a new series, it's kind of one that I've had for a while, but I have not visited in a very, very long time. So we are going to be bringing back collection videos here on my channel from the dead. We are going to be reviving them, and we are going to be starting that out here today with my liquid shadows. This is going to be a two-parter. I have a lot of liquid shadows, more than I thought. So if you are interested in seeing my vast collection of liquid shadows here, then go ahead and keep on watching and let's jump right on in. But no long introduction needed here today. Let's go ahead and just jump right on into the very first liquid shadow that I have here, which of course is from Huda Beauty, and this is one of her matte and metal melted shadows. I have the shade Froyo and Wednesday. So as you can see, this is a double-sided product. On one side we have the shade Froyo, which I'm swatching here, which is a metallic icy cool baby pink, and then on the other side we have a complementing matte shade, which is called Wednesday, which of course is a beautiful cool baby pink. I actually really enjoyed the matte side and the metallic side of this product. The matte side is very blendable, surprisingly, and the metallic side is super shiny and really beautiful to use in the inner corner, which I was surprised about because I really wasn't expecting the matte side of this product to be very blendable and user-friendly, but I actually really do find this particular one to be pretty user-friendly for the most part, and I don't really find that it's hard to work with. Maybe that's just because this is a lighter, cooler toned pink and it's not a super deep color or anything like that. I have another melted shadow from Huda that I don't really feel that way about, and that is going to be in part 2 of my liquid shadow collection. So stay tuned for that to hear how I feel about the deeper colors, but as far as the light colors go and as far as Froyo and Wednesday goes, it's absolutely stunning. So my next liquid shadow is from Stila. You already know there's going to be a decent amount of these in this collection. I think everyone has a decent amount of these in their collection by now, but this is one of their glitter and glow highlighters. This is the shade Queen. I got this puppy for $8 on like overstock.com or something like that. I got it super inexpensive and it is absolutely beautiful. I'm absolutely in love with this guy. I use it all of the time. This is basically a more sheared out, cool, purpley pink that's kind of on the lighter pastel side. As you can see, it's definitely more sheer because it's supposed to be a highlighter, but I find that it works totally fine as an eyeshadow or over top of an eyeshadow. It's basically like an eyeshadow topper, so I wouldn't really go in with this guy on its own, just on top of the lids, unless I wanted something very sheer. But nonetheless, this is absolutely beautiful to define a cut crease with, which is mainly what I use it for, and I basically use it every single day or every time I do a cool baby pink or cool purple eyeshadow look, which is like all the time, you already know. So my third liquid shadow here today is from a K-beauty brand, which is called Etude House. I don't know if you guys have heard of them before. I have heard of them for years because my friend has been absolutely obsessed with their products for years and years, but this is one of their Wonder Fun Park glitter pigments in the shade BE101. I would describe this product as a chunkier, bronzy kind of glitter that has some gold flecks running throughout it. I would definitely apply this guy over a glitter glue because it's basically like a loose pigment and a liquid shadow mixed into one, if that makes sense. You have a little wand applicator here, and I think you could definitely get away with applying this without a glitter glue, but it might just fall out over your face. So I think, you know, using the insurance of having a glitter glue on hand and using one with this product is definitely the way to go, in my opinion. As you can see, this is a really beautiful bronzy golden type of shade. I've been absolutely loving these types of shades lately, which is very strange for me considering I usually only go for pink, but I have been reaching for this guy all of the time. And I think it's a really beautiful product. They have other colors, but they are very hard to get your hands on. So if you're able to get your hands on this guy, if you see it in stores, I definitely suggest taking the plunge and going for it. So now we have one of the cutest looking liquid eyeshadows that I have in my collection. I absolutely love the aesthetic of the Limecrime Diamond Dew liquid shadows, and I have the shade Paris here, which is a super beautiful rosy pink sparkle that has some hollow glitter in it and even a little bit of purple iridescence. It is freaking stunning. I wear this all the time. Some people think that this little component here looks like something you would stick up your rear end, but I think that it's absolutely adorable. I think it looks like a little wand, but I guess I could see why people would think that it looks like something you would put up your bum. Excuse me for my vulgar language there, but nonetheless, this is an absolutely stunning eyeshadow. I only have one of these, but I would love to get my hands on some more. They have really beautiful colors. I would love if they came out with more colors. Hers is absolutely stunning, and I find the shadow to be a little bit more sheer, but it looks so beautiful layered over top of purple eyeshadow and pink eyeshadow and rosy eyeshadow. I think that because of the purple iridescence with the rosy base of this liquid shadow, you can really pair it with a lot of different things. Next up, we have a liquid eyeshadow that I was kind of taken aback by, and I was really surprised with, honestly, because I didn't really expect this guy to be as good as it actually is. I'm sorry. Might be mean, but I truly did not think that the shadow was going to be as phenomenal as it is, and obviously we have something from Kylie Cosmetics here. This is her liquid shadow in the shade Roses Are Red. This is one of her glitter eyes. This came out with her Valentine's Day collection for this year. I was very shook that I was able to get my hands on it. I was able to get it during the first launch. I don't know how. What kind of string of luck did I have that day? Because her website can be a little bit hectic, I'll say that much, but this is a super beautiful, high shine, super pigmented liquid shadow here. The actual shade itself is a gorgeous, kind of warm yet still icy, rosy pink, if that makes sense, mixed with a little bit of baby pink. It's just a little bit lighter than a typical rose and a little bit cooler as well. But as you can see, the pigmentation on this guy is phenomenal. Like, I don't understand how this is one of my best liquid shadows in my collection. It truly is, and I am just surprised by that fact. I suppose it's kind of unfair for me to say that I'm surprised that this was as good as it actually is. But I mean, I gotta be truthful here. I'm honestly very surprised, but I would love to get my hands on more of these glitter eyes. I know that a lot of them have been limited edition. I'm not sure if she has any permanent ones in her collection, but I would love to get my hands on, I believe it was called Birthday Cake from her birthday collection from last year. Oh my god, that shade was stunning, but I wasn't sure if it was gonna be a good formula. But after trying Roses Are Red, I am convinced that these are fabulous, and I would love to grow my collection of Kylie Glitter Eyes Liquid Shadows, which is a sentence that I never really thought I would be saying, but I'm not unhappy that I'm saying it. And here comes another Stila shadow for you. This is the shade Golden Girl. This is one of their actual shadows, not one of their glitter highlights. And this is a shade that came in a little mini set. As you can see, it's a little baby guy. This is like a pure antique golden bronze. This is not a green gold by any means. I kind of wish it was a green gold because I do really like green golds. I don't know if Stila has any green golds, and if they don't, they should definitely do that and make one because I will buy it. But this is a really beautiful, super shiny, golden, antique looking eyeshadow. I don't use it that often, but if I need it, I have it on hand. It is beautiful. I think this is a shade that a lot of people would love, and I think it's basically a universally flattering shade. I think basically anybody would look good in this kind of antique bronze type of shadow. So the next shadow we have here is something really interesting that I don't see a lot of people talk about anymore. People talked about these when they first launched. I saw Tati talk about them a lot, and that's basically where I heard about these Touch in Sol Metallist Liquid Foil and Glitter Shadow Duos. That is a mouthful. I have the shade Ida here. I have quite a few of these, but this is a duo-sided eyeshadow here. On one side, you get a glittery pigment that's very similar to the Etude House glitter pigment that I showed you guys earlier, and then on the other side, you get a creamier, metallic, non-sparkly eyeshadow, basically like a little base to stick the pigment to, but you can definitely use the pigment on its own. I'm going to show you that here in the swatches. Honestly, I kind of prefer the pigment on its own. I think that the actual shine of the pigment by itself really stands out, and I feel like once you put it over top of that metallic, non-glittery base, you kind of lose a bit of the sparkle. But that's just my personal opinion, but this shade is a beautiful, pale, cool lavender. This is absolutely to die for, and I do not know why people do not talk about these anymore because they are beautiful. Now we have another one of these, and this is one that I think a lot of people will like. I think a lot of you guys watching will think this is absolutely gorgeous and probably want to buy it after you see the swatches. This is the shade Talia. This was one of the first ones they launched. I believe they started out with 5 and then they grew the collection, and I have all of the original 5 and then some. This is a beautiful, cool champagne with a little bit of an icy undertone. I think this is the kind of shade that everyone and their mama is going to love. It is an absolutely stunning inner corner highlight, and you're gonna see in the swatches again, I really feel like the, glitter pigment on its own here really just shines, and the base is really pretty as well. I'm not as crazy about the base as I am as just the pigment by itself. I think these are absolutely stunning. I mean, look how glittery and sparkly without looking chunky. these swatches are. That's what I really like about these products, and you know, I found it to be pretty consistent with all of the shades that I have. I believe I have about 7 of these, is that I find them all to be very consistent in formula despite the color range. The color range is pretty vast, and I find these to be glittery without being overly chunky. Now, when you first apply the glitter pigment, it is going to kind of flake off and be a little chunky, but once you get it on the eyes, after you use a brush or your finger to just smooth out the initial application, you get a very dewy, wet, glittery, sparkly, and shiny type of look without looking thick or cakey or chunky. None of that jazz. These are really beautifully formulated, and I need to start whipping them out more because Lord knows I haven't in a very long time. So no surprise here, but we have another Stila shadow here, one of their magnificent metal shadows, and this is the shade Pink Wink Wink. Now, I believe that this was a special collection. Yeah, it was the Little White Lies collection. And these are basically iridescent white based shadows that all had the same white base but had a different shift in them and a different color based on which color you picked. There was like an orange one, a blue, a green, a pink, and of course I went for the pink one. And let me tell you, this was a very disappointing product. The swatches might tell you differently, but on the eyes I was not really a fan. These were streaky and chunky and not super shiny and not super glittery, and they kind of just made my eyes look very strange and crepey almost. I don't know what the formula deal with this guy is. I'm not sure if it's just because it's an iridescent white base. I'm not sure if it was just my particular tube here, but I was not the biggest fan of this product, so to be honest, I haven't really reached for it very often, which is disappointing because it's a beautiful color, but the formula is just a no-go from me. So we have another Stila liquid shadow here. How many of these do I freaking have? This is one of the most beautiful eyeshadows I have ever laid my eyeballs on. This is one of their duochromatic shades. I believe they have 3, and they may have even expanded on that since then. But I picked this up about a year ago, and I still use it all the time. This is an absolutely beautiful, cool, kind of purpley based shadow that has a green shift and some blue sparkles in it. Oh my god, every time I wear the shadow, somebody says something to me about it. Someone comments on it, which doesn't happen often to me, so when it does happen, I know that the product is good. I know it's a shadow that actually looks good on the eyes. This shadow is stunning. If you like colors like this, I would say pick this guy up. It is worth it. I have gotten my money's worth out of this guy. It is such a beautiful shade that has such a strong duochromatic shift while still not looking overly chunky and still looks a little bit wet on the eyes, which I absolutely adore because y'all know I love me a good wet dewy look. Try it out for yourself at least. Go on over to Sephora, go to Ulta, wherever you want to go. Try a little swatch of it on your arm. See what it looks like in person. It is freaking beautiful, and I think anyone out there who likes pink and purpley makeup and duochrome makeup will absolutely love it. Alright folks, But we have reached the conclusion of part 1 of my liquid eyeshadows video here. I am going to be giving you part 2 very, very soon here in the future, probably by the end of this week. But I just had to call it quits this time because I am a weakling and my arm was getting very, very tired of being held up. But if you want to see part 2, if you are excited for part 2 of my liquid shadows video, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below if you are not already subscribed to stay in the loop with when I post that. Let me know what some of your favorite liquid shadows are because I am trying to grow the collection here, surprisingly. I'm trying to whip out the ones that I have here and use them more often, but I'm trying to, I don't know, expand my collection a little bit. Maybe get some more shades that I don't already have in my collection, because as you can see here, we got a lot of pink. So let me know in the comments what some of your favorites are. And of course, if you enjoyed the video, then I would absolutely love it if you gave me a big old thumbs up as well. Helps out the channel, it helps out small YouTubers, so if you choose to do so, then I greatly appreciate you. But with that being said, I hope that you are having an absolutely amazing and beautiful day wherever you are. And thank you so much for joining me here today. I hope to see you next time. Bye!